Y'all get ready?
Yes, you get ready.
Hey, yeah. If you want the latest news in the streets, join us and tune in for the tea. Breaking news with integrity. So tell your friends and your family. It's the Lovelyti TV show, bringing you good tea and good vibes. It's the Lovelyti TV show. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe.
We all know November 1st has come and gone, and nobody received their SNAP benefits. Some states stated they would give, a little bit of money towards people's EBT. It was like a few states that said they would, but they only had enough for so many people. A judge ordered Trump to basically go in and give people their SNAP benefits because there's money that's allocated within the government that's supposed to help in situations like this. And so a judge ordered him to release those funds. He claimed that he would release partial, right? So they would get at least half of what they're supposed to get normally. Then he walked that back. Now, what's very interesting with this SNAP situation, I heard about Dick Cheney passing. Rest in peace to him. He lived a long life. What's interesting about the SNAP benefits that a lot of people don't understand is that a lot of grocery stores are going to be having issues. And when they can't fulfill, when they're not able to sell groceries, they're not fulfilling orders, that's going to have a trickle-down effect. They're going to start laying off employees because there's not going to be enough people coming in and shopping. Another thing that people need to realize, because I know there's a lot of people on Halloween doing blackface, and I forgot the one trailer trash white bitch who painted her face black and was like, yo, I didn't get my EBT money. Y'all can write her name in the chat. Some trash white girl that was a part of Turning Point USA, like with Charlie Kirk and stuff like that. I forget her name. But what's funny is while she's in blackface with blue eyes and saying, yo, I didn't get my EBT money, most of the people who are on SNAP benefits are white. Okay, so let's clock that. Most people live in red states, so let's clock that too. But it's so funny that y'all be so ready to make fun of poor people, of poor and needy people. I don't understand, what is funny about single mothers, fathers, and just people who need assistance with food. At the end of the day, for the most part, people work. And when you work a job, you pay taxes, okay? And those taxes are meant to help people. Maybe you may not need SNAP benefits and you may have never needed WIC or EBT. That's a blessing that you've never needed that. But other people have. So you may not need that, but maybe in the future you might need that same tax money to help you with medical bills or cash assistance because you've fallen on hard times. Maybe your bootstraps aren't strapping, okay? But what I always find funny is that these folks are so quick to make fun of black people and people who are poor and demonize them, right? For needing benefits, for needing social services. But do you notice they never demonize the corporations who also get corporate welfare, who also benefit from EBT? See, folks don't want to have that conversation because it's easier to just demonize the single black mom and say, why you on your, sixth child by your fifth baby daddy? That's a lot easier. It's easy to punch down on that, right? Because it's easier to make fun of that person and continue to shame them for their actions. And I'm not saying that it's okay for you to be out here just having kids that you can't afford to feed over and over again. But again, it's a lot easier to do that than to say that, isn't it interesting that when people go to apply at Walmart, Kroger's, Bilo, Cub Foods, and all these other grocery stores, if you notice when you're filling out your application, it asks you if you're receiving any type of aid. Back then it was called TANF. I don't know what they call it now because I have not filled out a job application in years. But I know back then it would say, are you receiving MFIP That was Minnesota Family Improvement Program / TANF. And if you are, check here. And if you're not, you don't check there. What people don't understand is that people who check that they are receiving some type of government subsidy, EBT, TANF, cash assistance, the reason why they put that on the application, they get a kickback from that. They get their own little corporate, they're still TANF? Like I said, I don't know. Thank you for confirming. They get a kickback from that. For every person that they hire to work for them, that they help, take off of EBT and food stamps, they get a kickback from that. That's able to be written off on their corporate taxes. People don't realize that. Okay? On top of that, people spending in these grocery stores with their EBT cards, they make billions a year, all of these grocery stores, from that EBT money. Okay? And that EBT money helps to keep the lights on at Walmart, keep the employees paid. People don't understand how everything is one big circle. See, it's funny to eat toast and say what you do with last month's EBT benefits. But y'all are not asking these corporations, because see, now these corporations are crying. Now Walmart is demanding that the shutdown end because they're losing money. Kroger's is talking about doing another mass layoff because they're losing money. Let's see if the toast lady and people with that mentality ask Walmart and Kroger, what happened to EBT? What happened to the EBT money from all the food stamp recipients that y'all received a month ago? They're not ready for that conversation. Because it's always easier to punch down. It's always easier to demonize poor and black people than to look at the big picture. So, people don't understand that. TANF, temporary assistance for needy families. So they said that it's still on the application. I remember that years ago. They get a kickback from that if you don't know. They're not asking you that for their health. They're asking you that because they get a corporate kickback. They get corporate welfare for every person that they hire that's on some type of state assistance. And it's not just Walmart and Kroger's, it's any job. So let's go ahead and watch some of these videos about the SNAP situation here. Sorry if I'm going off, I'm just saying. It's just frustrating. Especially when I seen that bullshit video of that girl, and people just thought it was just so funny. It's like, whatever. I didn't think it was funny at all. But it's like they can always play little games like that and throw shade, and it's okay. But they never had that same energy for other communities. They wouldn't dare crack jokes on other communities. Okay, so this is the update. So when we left off yesterday, he said that he was going to partially give SNAP benefits. Then today he just changed his mind. Said he wasn't going to do it. Changed his mind. So let's go ahead and watch this video.
Confusion and fear spread across the nation this morning with a single social media post from the president. Thanks for joining us. I'm Evan Narani.
I'm Eric Connor. Today, after the Trump White House said it would comply with the judge's order to fund the nation's SNAP program, the president sent a much different message on his Truth Social account. CBS 8's Chris Grove's been following this back and forth, joining us in studio. And then the press secretary came out and there was something else said. So a lot of back and forth here. You're going to break it down.
Yeah, clarified. And I know a lot of people wanting to know when these SNAP benefits will go out. So a lot of people paying attention to an issue like this. And I think confusion is the word to use here. We told you 24 hours ago at this very spot that the White House had come up with a plan to partially fund SNAP for the month of November. And this morning, the president sent everything into a tailspin with this post. Take a look at your screen right now. This was sent about 2 hours ago this morning. The president saying, quote, SNAP benefits, which increased by billions and billions of dollars, many fold during crooked Joe Biden's disastrous term in office, due to the fact that they were haphazardly handed to anyone for the asking as opposed to just those in need, which is the purpose of SNAP, will be given only when the radical left Democrats open up government, which they can easily do and not before. Thank you for your attention to this matter. He signs off, President Donald J. Trump. Now, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt clarified at today's press briefing that partial funding would go out, and what the president meant by this was if there is something in which this becomes an issue in the future, despite this post. Yesterday, White House lawyers told the judge the administration would use contingency funds to issue partial payments in November. Normally it costs the government about $8 billion a month, but the administration has about $4.6 billion in emergency reserves to send out those partial payments. More than 42 million Americans used the program to buy groceries. That includes nearly 400,000 San Diegans. Speaker Mike Johnson, seemingly unaware of the president's 180 at the time, that he had this to say about the SNAP program.
Remember, the contingency fund only has roughly $5 billion, and it costs roughly $9 billion for a month of SNAP benefits. So I think the arrangement is they're going to give half, at least half, to everyone. But here's the problem: it's very complex, is that it's administered through the states, and you have to recalculate all the allocations and how the checks go out. It's not, you can't just flip a switch and do that.
And so a lot of people are wondering when they will begin to receive the benefits on their card. So even after this sort of back and forth this morning, still waiting to see exactly when that will be, especially for CalFresh recipients here in California and San Diego.
And reminding them that they cannot give special treatment like subtle discounts to individuals that rely on SNAP benefits during this difficult time for many Americans. Essentially, some groceries around the country started offering discounts for SNAP and EBT eligible Americans because they simply can't afford full price groceries at a time where SNAP benefits aren't being paid out. And now the Trump administration is emailing grocery stores across the country saying if they want to keep their SNAP EBT eligibility, then they have to comply with the equal treatment rule, which prohibits grocery stores from selling products to individuals eligible for SNAP at a reduced rate. But if you think about this equal treatment rule, it's designed to prohibit grocery stores from reducing the rate of food for SNAP payments, not giving discounts for individuals when SNAP payments are unavailable. And many are now saying that this is just cruelty on behalf of the Trump administration. And now grocery stores across the country are pulling any of these discounts it was giving those eligible for SNAP and food assistance. Spread the word, follow along for all the news you need to know about. We have some news right now. The Trump administration is emailing grocery stores across the country, telling them and reminding them that they cannot give special treatment like subtle discounts to individuals that rely on SNAP benefits during this difficult time for many Americans. Essentially, some grocery...
So that's what, Aaron. That's what Aaron was saying. I wanted to play that real quick because that was another controversy as well, is that a lot of grocery stores were willing to like help people out and say, hey, if you need help and you're on SNAP, we'll give you a discount, this and that. Because again, these grocery stores are also very dependent on this money. That is how they keep their lights on. You know, people want to talk all this shit about welfare recipients, but their money spends too, okay? And so he ended up emailing and saying that if they help out or give any type of discount, you know, they'll get in trouble somehow. So they ended up changing their mind about that. So we're going to watch a few more TikToks I have here.
Confusion about SNAP benefits because the president just posted that they will only be given out when the radical left Democrats open the government and not before. But just yesterday, the administration said it would comply with a court order to expend the full amount of SNAP contingency funds by end of business day yesterday. So did the administration distribute that money or defy that court order?
No, the administration is fully complying with the court order. I just spoke to the president about it. The recipients of these SNAP benefits need to understand it's going to take some time to receive this money because the Democrats have forced the administration into a very untenable position. We are digging into a contingency fund that is supposed to be for emergencies, catastrophes, for war. And the president does not want to have to tap into this fund in the future, and that's what he was referring to in his Truth Social post. So the Department of Agriculture, as for the latest SNAP payment in the judge's order, put out guidance to states today on how to get that money to the recipients of SNAP. But it's going to take some time. The best way to get the full amount of SNAP benefits to those beneficiaries is for Democrats to reopen the government. So to anyone who is a SNAP beneficiary at home who needs that assistance, and the president was just saying, this is for people who are truly needy. who need food, who need this assistance from the United States government. Democrats are holding it up and making it difficult for the administration to get those payments out the door. So if you are at home and you want your SNAP benefits, call the Democrats and tell them to reopen the government.
Can you help clear up some confusion?
I mean, like, is she drunk? Like, come on, like, just call the Democrats and tell them, like, okay, we just call somebody's phone number and be like, hey, open up the government. Like, what are you talking about? I mean, it's just insane. It's insane.
I'm at Sam's Club. Are you fucking kidding me? This guy wants to create a ballroom for his rich friends while completely turning a blind eye to the fact that babies are going to starve when the SNAP benefits end in just hours from now? Come on. So what? I'm not going to be distracted by, oh, does the guy have a big fucking hammer? What about those babies?
Right.
Are you fucking kidding me? This guy wants to create
You're going off, honey. Let's see what Jasmine Crockett has.
I will agree that there are too many American people that are on SNAP benefits. But that means that you got to not look necessarily at SNAP. You got to look at the reasons that they're on SNAP. We know that over 1/4 of these people that are in receipt of SNAP benefits are actually the working poor in this country, right? We have not increased the minimum wage, and I don't know when, and the minimum wage still sits at $7 while everything else is going up, whether we're talking about the cost of food or whether we're talking about the cost of rent or whether we're talking about the cost to actually try to engage in home ownership, if we're talking about the interest rates. And we know that under the failed leadership of this administration, this country has seen a loss of 1 million jobs, and that's just in the first few months. He's not even had a full year. So no, we need to work on economic policies that will put people into a position in which they are not the working poor.
Walmart is now telling Republicans and Democrats to get their act together and end the government shutdown and ensure that SNAP benefits go out on Monday. See, Walmart is a recipient of 26.7% of all SNAP benefit spending, and the United States issues around $8 billion in SNAP benefits every month, which means Walmart's on the hook to lose about $2.1 billion in revenue for the month of November. In a month where people go into Walmart for not only groceries, but they begin Christmas shopping if they haven't already. They begin holiday shopping for holiday meals, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and anything else in between. So Walmart, who has invested heavily in Republican politicians, is now telling those Republican politicians, get your crap together, end this shutdown, and if you can't do that, at least ensure that SNAP benefits are secure. As I predicted last Monday, it's not going to be Republicans and Democrats actually coming together because they want to. It's going to be Republicans and Democrats coming together to end the shutdown because the corporations tell them to. Walmart is now...
Clock that T. And what else is very interesting is that, they're upset. They want their SNAP benefits. They want, the SNAP recipients to come back into the store. But yet and still, they're not willing to pay these people more money. A more livable wage. Rent's going up, gas, health insurance, and everything else, but what's not going up is the pay. And that's the conversation they're not ready to have. So it's okay for them to make billions of dollars a year off of SNAP recipients, but they're also not trying to pay them any more than $10 to $12 an hour. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot going on right now. It's just, it's insane. It's insane. So we'll have to wait and see if they end up, reissuing the SNAP benefits to people. I know there's been extra, police. I've been seeing videos of extra police patrolling Walmart and grocery stores and stuff like that, ready to arrest people. Yeah, it's
If you want the latest news in the streets, join us and tune in for the tea. Breaking news with integrity. So tell your friends and your family. It's the Lovelyti TV show, bringing you good tea and good vibes. It's the Lovelyti TV show. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe.